Hi, welcome to AFTV. Now, this week saw lead judges go bananas and get all strawberry red in the face.
I told you no poems today. I actually told you no poems today.
Saw lead judges get all strawberry red in the face after the PSG kind of made it look like lemons with a 1-0 win. But it's a reverse fixture. However, this Saturday, it's the cherries. And we should be able to outdo them. Fruits is today's theme. Fruits.
He's got some shadow in him today as well, so imagine that. I apologise to
fruits,
my bro.
is it? Bananas, lemons. Anyway.
No, but before they were funny. Like, there was like, do you know what I mean?
Now's not the time either. We just lost to PSG at home, bro.
I know.
We're fucking doing poems, bro.
People, just so you know, Turkish gave me a prep talk. He said, don't do the poem today. Not a poem, don't do an intro. Just say, hi, welcome to AFTV. What are you lot saying about the game this weekend? But
yeah.
Who comes here for that?
Who's coming here anyway? Let me know in the comments.
Who's coming here anyway? That's awful. There's going to be people that are coming this Saturday to watch their team, their beloved team, Arsenal, play against
Have you
Bournemouth.
seen how many tickets are available? Let alone people watching the match preview for it. If you want tickets, people, you head over. I don't know how you get them, but you head over somewhere.
Well, let's discuss it. I mean, I saw one of our social media guys put in the chat today. He said, like, you know, if Arsenal win, and I think it's Chelsea, if they lose, I think it's Chelsea lose, then we are guaranteed Champions League football. Is that a jeopardy? Yeah. Is there any jeopardy on this game? Bournemouth are 10th. If they win, they're pushing for a European spot. But I think they're quite far off it.
Look, just very quickly, I'm so torn on this. I really am. Part of me just does not want to fall behind Newcastle and Man City. I know it means nothing. I know. I just don't want it to either. I'd still rather if we have a bad league season than bad for us as second. It's just the optics of it. And also I want to keep seeing Arsenal winning some football matches. I want to still see our players playing well. Part of me thinks that we need to get a bit of momentum in these players ahead of what's going to be a difficult task. We have to win in Paris. This isn't just... You know, we drew here 2-2 to Bayern Munich.
Yep. We
kept thinking we've got to win in Munich, but that wasn't really true. That was basically, if you don't lose the game, then you never know. It might be a shootout or something. But you have to go win in Paris. And I don't know what the best way to do that is. Do you rest everyone? And obviously we'll talk about in the Blitz 11, or do you... You know, do you actually try to get some momentum in these players? And then whenever I watch it, like Brentford at home, what was the last game we drew here?
Brentford, Everton, Palace.
Yeah.
It annoyed me. It annoyed me not winning those games. So I do want... Yeah, I'm sort of torn on it, but I don't want us to fall below second, but I couldn't really tell you why other than just second's better than third.
Turkish, you seem so unbothered about this weekend coming up, but... No, there's no energy at all. Maybe revenge. They beat us already this season.
I'm just looking at us to do something a bit different, to find a plan B, because you know the lack of a plan B was exposed against PSG. And I know our resources are limited, but the majority of blame for that isn't down to injuries. We've got 2 players missing, with one arguably, you know, bearing no difference to their fortune at the moment.
Yeah. You've been quite consistent with wanting a plan B, but you always seem to get let down because it never happens.
The thing is, yeah,
it doesn't happen.
Then I see some comments getting on to me about, you know, like I'm being negative when I was asking for a plan B weeks ago, we didn't need one against Real. I love that, cool, but we needed one against PSG, and that's where it's got exposed. And
are you saying Miles Lewis Skelly in midfield? Like
I don't know. Miles Lewis Skelly in midfield, Ranieri in the 10.
We'll talk about in Predicts 11.
Tierney maybe. If Lewis Skelly, I don't know. Just some. It's not my job to know it. If I'm paid 12 million a year, then I might, you know, try and work it out.
But plan B also.
Try and work out. Plan B. It's a good wage to try and work out.
You're gonna try.
Plan B is right, but also Plan B doesn't just mean a different formation or different players. It can mean a different approach. And I was looking into some of the numbers across both Champions League semi-finals, which, by the way, were a privilege to watch. Forget what happened. I mean, with us, PSG, that first 20 minutes were unreal. Barca, Inter Milan, what a game from both. By the way, Inter Milan barely had the ball, and I still think they look more threatening than we ever did against PSG. Though we did some decent stuff, but when I mean a different approach is, of our passes forward, we had the lowest pass completion of the 4 teams in those semi-finals. Of passes forward, we are not good at getting the ball quite directly up the pitch. We like to go wide, we like to build up with our wingers.
Is Partey the only reason? Because is that the sole reason why that is so low, or is that ridiculous to say?
Partey helps it. Do we look much better at it with Partey in the team? Not massively. I think he helps. No, for sure he helps. I think it's an Arteta thing. It's not a Partey thing. It's not a Rice thing. So I think Arteta wants us to build wide. I think there's a reason we go down the wing so often. Jamie Carragher's analysis on this. But there was also the point. What was the other thing I'd looked at? It wasn't data, but did you guys remember Barcelona? I think they were 2-0 down at this point, maybe 2-1, and the ball got pinged into Dani Olmo. He had about 3 Inter Milan defenders around him. And he just threw a bit of grit and a bit of skill, found his way through and got. And I was like, when do we ever just thread it through the middle of the pitch? And one thing I want to see from Arsenal is, can Odegaard get in that position? Dani Olmo, he's not 6'2", he's not some battering around with a number 10. But can we just try? Yes, Lewis Skelly's probably the closest to it, to a player who might do that. Can we just try and play with a bit of purpose? When you say plan B, I agree with you, but I mean it more from like a position of variety in the way we play and what we do. I'd like to see us throw something different at Bournemouth and play in a different way. And I think the Champions League semi-finals really highlighted the lack of variety in the way Arsenal try and break teams down.
I think you make a good point. I think it's frustrating. It is a little bit frustrating because PSG, they were at levels that I think I was so surprised by. Even Stuart said everyone was at tens.
Why? Why is everyone so surprised by PSG?
They have been on somewhat good form. Also, as invincible before they lost against Nice, but like what surprised me is it seemed like they read the whole Arsenal book. I said this on a live the other day with Curtis. They knew everything from the defending corners, how to stop the corners, how to stop the attacking corners and defending corners against Arsenal. They learned to double up on Saka, to do a low block when they need to be. It felt like they knew everything was strong at. They nullified. So I understand.
I'll give you that, but they did knock out Liverpool, and it was penalties, but they were convincing in both games. They were 2-0 down against Man City at the Parc des Princes in the second half and won that game 4-2 in a
the Villa game,
match.
they looked vulnerable at that time.
They were, and I'm not discrediting Villa, who, fair play, showed way more spirit than we did, by the way. But at one point, that aggregate was 5-1. PSG think they've got it done. 2 deflected goals pulls Villa back in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that there was a bit of luck as much as there was spirit from Villa, and like I said, more than we showed. But yeah, I thought we'd win.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised PSG looked really good.
Yeah, fair. Well, listen, this is a Bournemouth preview, so I know all eyes again. We've been doing this for a few weeks, but
best
it's
team
all
we
on
faced this
Champions League.
season, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
PSG,
Yeah.
They were completely
almost comfortably, I'd say.
Yeah, easy.
I don't think
easy for me.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team we faced.
No, you can't say that. Fair.
Real Madrid never got to that level. I think you maybe say Liverpool in terms of for what
No,
Liverpool have
but
achieved,
even
but in that game, Liverpool weren't at it.
Yeah.
I saw Timber have a. Listen, I'm digressing. We're going to a whole other game. Bournemouth. Some key players there. This is a bit of a weak question, but anyone that tickles your eye when it comes to a player you'd like to bring to Arsenal. I mean, Semenyo's a quality player, someone that has been linked in the past. I think Huijsen, I'm saying his name right. I've watched him.
He's Howson, I keep calling him
Huijsen or Howson. Obviously, the centre back Young. There was linked to him very recently. Would you like to see a player like anyone from Bournemouth that? Because
not really. If I'm honest with you. Come on, man.
There's that. Not really.
Nah, man. We need to.
Semenyo's a good player, bro. What do you mean?
The best players in the world, bro.
What about Iraola?
Good manager.
Well, the manager, yeah. I mean, I like it.
Very good manager.
He's been a good
I've been a
manager.
fan of him for
I think
time.
probably Tottenham will turn to him next.
Oh, I'll be upset if he goes there.
Whether he decides to agree to it or not, that's another thing. But yeah, he's a good manager. And Bournemouth have been a good side. I think they've deserved something out of this season. They were knocked out just recently from the FA Cup as well. Not semis, but quarters.
City, yeah.
And it looks like Europe within touching distance, but highly unlikely really when you look at the teams above. In terms of players, I mean, I'm looking, at the wider market.
Clivert's been on good form.
Clivert now, man. A hat trick with penalties, one game or something like that. Now, we don't need to shove. I mean, I like Huijsen.
Young talent.
The centre back better be the 6th signing this summer. Because if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and even 5, I ain't gonna be happy, man.
You're on ready-made players for Arsenal this summer. You don't want to hear no young up and. Are you not giving it no?
Ready-made for certain positions. Striker ready-made. Left winger ready-made. The way Odegaard's moving, number 10 might need to be ready-made. But you can mix it up a little bit. You can mix it up because I'll take Arda Güler for example. He's not ready-made, but he brings something different and he's young and
there's still weight behind him though. He's a Real Madrid. It's not. He's not.
Every position
he's not
has
an unknown
to be,
player.
Because there is a lack of ready-made players in every position now in world football. Really, it's all potential. But striker needs to be ready-made, and that's it. If I'm looking at Bournemouth, good luck to them.
Problem with Howson's a £50 million release clause. I mean, it's like serious investment.
He is a good player. He is a really good player, though.
Really good. And actually, I really think we could do with more cover. I can't believe I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But
he'd fit Arteta's system as well, I think, really well.
Yeah, but he's
Arteta needs to change his system, though.
£50 million player. 50. I'm kind of with Turkish. If it's a case of Kivior goes for 35, and it's it's like we need to replace him, and you know what, then I can kind of fine.
Yeah.
But every other area needs to be addressed as well.
All right, let's have a little, I say sweet spot for Bournemouth. I mean, I like going to their away ground. I think it's a good ground. I used to play against them when I was a player, and I've got a few friends there, James Hill, Daniel Jebinson as well. So I have a little bit of soft spot for Bournemouth. Got to try and drop a Will Smith somewhere.
Lots of friends.
His name's, we'll pick him up. Do you, and both of you, you kind of said it, if we lose, you'll be annoyed or draw. Is there your care level? Do you care about this game at all? Because I've been on previews, me and Laurie argued, I said that Palace one, I think I wasn't even really too fussed about the result. This one, considering it's in lead up to that PSG second leg, is there any, caring for this game at all?
Yeah, I want to see us smoking.
Okay.
That's what we need.
Okay, good.
4 or 5 goals, comfortable win. A few players we rely on getting a goal, and a couple of players on the fringes getting a goal. That would be the perfect scenario come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday leading up to PSG. Will it make a difference? Who knows? My care for this game comes from trying to find something different. So that means switching it up a little bit.
Okay.
Now that could cost the 3 points. It could cost whatever it costs, but my care for it, because essentially the Champions League is at the forefront of everything now. Win or lose that, it defines the season. Yeah. Okay. So you don't care for the whole picture, but the minor details of if you see something new and different, you care about Arteta trying something new and different in build up to Tuesday. Now I'm not going to be happy if Sterling starts, but Nwaneri doesn't. Now I'm not going to be happy about that. I'm not. I'm just not. But that could actually. Yeah, that's probably good. Anyway, it wouldn't make sense, but yeah. Okay, James, and for you, you kind of touched on it before. You said this. You don't want to see us lose.
Oh, I'm such a broken record here, but fans are still going to move to this game. It'll be someone's first game. It will be, I don't know, someone will have flown in for it. Of course, the players got to give their all. Whoever's put out there. I don't know what the answer is. I feel like Declan Rice needs a rest. I will say that. But otherwise, you got to keep playing Ødegaard.
Give Saka a rest as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you play one there. Well, this is all going to predict 11 stuff. Right. But I think you can get a nice balance in there. But ultimately, I want to see Arsenal look good. And we need to get 3 points on the board. I mean, my word, could we just get a win in the league? And
it's been a lot of draws from Arsenal. But let's push forward then. Let's get to that Predict 11 video. We'll do that, and it'll be out on the channel later on. So make sure you look out for that. Let me just read the final stats, closing stats before you get your score predictions. Arsenal won all 8 of their home games against Bournemouth in all competitions, scoring 23 goals and just conceding 4, which is mad, by the way. That's a lot of goals. Arsenal failed to win 9 Premier League games in which they led so far this season, and they've drawn 9 of those, more than they had in the previous 2 campaigns combined. So we go ahead and sometimes we've done that a lot this season.
We throw away leads a lot.
That's an issue in my head. And last one is each of Arsenal's 3 Premier League defeats this season have come against teams starting the day in the bottom half of the table, with the Gunners unbeaten in the last 18 against sides in the top 10.
Brilliant.
That's mad. It's the lower teams that we seem to.
We have 13 draws on the board. It's coming across a lot of different sides in different situations. From Leeds at home to whatever it might be. It's the league campaign has been a bit of a shambles, and the context of it is a lot of things. Injuries to a degree, the eyes being on Champions League football with more recent games. Yeah, the odd officiating, but listen, the big one is Arsenal haven't been good enough to be any better than where we are on the table. And Man City and Newcastle and all them, I know Newcastle's recently a Villa, but these guys are ending the season seemingly more sharp, in better form, with more goals and then more ideas. And Arsenal, it feels like it's just all in the Champions League, but try put a couple of wins together in the Premier League and just secure second place, and we go again in the summer when it comes to this competition.
And some of them clubs you mentioned are also still in cup competitions. Man City's, the Tottenhams, it's Man United's and Chelsea's, and they could end up with silverware, and we may not, which is the worst situation. Score prediction?
2-1.
Default one? Yeah, default one, or 2-1?
Yeah, 2-1 Arsenal.
1-1.
7-6.
1-1.
7-6, yeah.
7-6.
Change it.
I was on for Arsenal, yeah.
Still a goal margin.
Yeah.
7-6.
But he thinks we're going to win.
Just.
Game of the season.
Hey, Bournemouth here.
Pedri,
Bournemouth
Yamal, take a seat. We've got it from here.
Bournemouth-
7-6.
Bournemouth,
Saturday, 5:30.
Bournemouth here not
Make
too
sure
long
you
ago.
watch it.
3-2. That was a.
Look at the hope in that season, man. Like, look back at that. Like,
I thought we won the league. As in, I thought that was the moment we say when you
Yeah.
get results in games like that, you go on and win. You win the league.
Now you're gonna realise in these moments mean nothing.
They
without-
mean means fuck all.
You're gonna realise in
Carry
this,
the
trust
same
me.
weight.
They
I've known
mean
this for
nothing.
20 years
Do you know how much
now.
times I've been swayed by that little moments? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this
yeah.
is a
Now
sign
you
of
know, now you
a winning championship team. Nah.
Next one might be the Real Madrid game.
it's so funny because you know when people talk
Why do you have to be so real? Sorry.
You know, when people talk about, they make jokes like, worst signings, and they whip out Kim Kallstrom. But I literally go, he scored a penalty in a Wembley semi-final where we won the FA Cup. Like, he did nothing.
Like that.
But we won something. So I'm always kind of like, well, hold on. And it's like, well, that's stupid. And it's like the Nelson moment, but you're right. And it's kind of, sometimes it doesn't lead to something. You kind of remember the kind of shitty,
you can't live
pointless
life
ones
like that, bro.
no, of
You
course
can't.
you can't. Of course you
You
can't.
can't.
But also, I kind of get it. It's amazing how when you do get over the line, you remember all the little things that got you there. That first FA Cup in 2014, first of the 9-year drought. I remember we beat Tottenham here 2-0.
Yes.
I think Cazorla scored. I remember Gnabry got his debut. How do I remember all that? Because it's
Led
all
to
part of the
something.
journey. Yeah. So big up Kim Kallstrom. He probably starts for us.
Could be the title of this video. No, I'm joking. Thank you for joining us for this preview. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video on your way out, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.